see me. Good evening. This is not business as usual, guys. This call today is entitled The Eye of the Tiger. And excuse my attire, I have come back from netball. So excuse me for that. But this call is entitled The Eye of the Tiger. And for those of you that have been in the wealthier world for a little while now, or been mentored by me for a while, you will know that sometimes I teach through storytelling. And I want to tell you a story, and I want you to pull out of it the key components that you can run with through this story. And this is a personal testimony. And I believe that sometimes, you know, sometimes we have to look back in order to go forward. And, you know, one of the things that I remember when, and, you know, I want to just make it absolutely clear that I believe that God is my personal savior. Okay. I believe in Jesus. And for those of you that believe in anything else, anything that I do say, replace it in your mind with whatever it is that you believe in. I don't mean to cause any offense to anybody, but I can't give my testimony without, you know, declaring exactly where I've come from and the source that has helped me to come from where it was that I come from. Okay, so, you know, I don't want to, I'm not forcing anything on anybody. I'm just telling you from my point of view. And so when you hear the word Jesus, when you hear the word God, if that's something that you don't believe, then replace it with a word that you do believe in, or replace it with whatever it is that you do. But I can't give my testimony without, you know, telling you the goodness of the Lord, telling you what he has done for me and where he's taken me from. And, you know, before I got started in this business, guys, and before I got, you know, married to who you all know as my husband, Anton, you know, I was in one of the worst relationships of my life. It was terrible, guys. It was abusive in all different, you know, angles, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. And I stayed there for 15 years. You know, and this is not a man bashing thing, because, you know, you guys know the story. I already have a new husband and, you know, happily ever after, whatever. But I was in that situation, and I was, you know, I was deluded, if I'm honest. I kept, you know, the cheating kept coming, the abuse kept coming, and I continued to stay in that situation, knowing that the likelihood of him changing was slim. And I kept on pushing. I kept praying. You know, it was somebody that I met when I was 15. It was my first true love, my first everything. And I so badly wanted it to work. And so I was putting my wants into what I wanted him to want. But the truth is I couldn't want it for him. He had to want it for him. And so, you know, when I got pregnant and he said to me, you know, and I've not gone online and shared this before because of my children, but when he said to me, listen, get rid of the kid or we're over, right? I don't want anything to do with you if you have that baby, you know, get rid of the child. And I said, I'm not getting rid of my child, so you better move. It's funny how you can't leave. I couldn't leave him. But the minute that ultimatum came, the minute you want to hurt my child, I was like, boy, you better go, walk out the door, go. And that was the first sign of strength that I'd ever seen in myself when it was in relation to him. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to paint him as a bad person. What I want to do is say, why did I stay in that situation for so long? What was it about my self-esteem? What was it about what I believed that I deserved? Why I felt like it was acceptable for a man to use, abuse me, take my money, do everything. And I just kept staying and begging him to love me. Like, what was it about that really made me think that I needed to be in that situation? Like, why was that something that I was prepared to sit in for a long time? What was it about that situation? And I believe that every situation there is a lesson that needs to be learned. And I learned a lot of lessons. I went on some self-discovery. I started to ask myself some questions. Was it daddy issues? Because I didn't have a dad and I was looking for that male figure. Was it the fact that I didn't feel love growing up? Where was these things? I had to pinpoint what was it in my life that made me think that that was the best I was ever going to get. Like, he made me feel like if me and him broke up, I'd never get another man, especially when I had a child. It was like, if you Leave, you ain't never gonna get, you're never gonna get anybody else. And I felt like that to the point where I tricked my own mind that it was better the devil I knew. And I don't know about anybody else. I don't even want to know a devil. I don't know why we even say that saying is better the devil I know. I don't want to know a devil. I want to, and it took a long time for me to say, I deserve somebody who loves me for who I am. I deserve to be with someone who truly appreciates me. I deserve to be who God has called me to be. I love myself enough to be by myself rather than be around somebody that's going to treat me badly. I had to love myself, but that took a decision, guys. That took a decision, and nobody could have made that decision for me. Now, here's the thing. When I turned around and told, I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. When I told my friends that we had broken up, they all were like, oh, okay, finally. Because they could all see it long before. But no matter if they had told me or not, I wouldn't have done anything about it because it wasn't their decision. They could have come to me and told me the world about they saw him with a girl around the corner. No matter what they would have said. Until I was ready to leave, I would not have left. Until I made the decision, the tough decision, I would have stayed in that situation longer than I needed to. Now, here's the thing. During that time of restoration, I then went to church. I then got saved, baptized. I began to dig deeper into my word and read about the love of God and how, God loves us. We are, precious to him, that we are his, we are royalty. He is a king and we are children of a king. And so when you are a child of a king, I start to read these words and say, I'm a child of a king. Now, when you think about a child of a king, I want you to just type into the chat some of the attributes that a child of a king would have. Because when you are a child of a king, the child of a king isn't with a relationship that's going to beat them up every day. The child of a king isn't suffering. The child of a king has protection. They walk tall, they're strong, they have a lineage, a heritage, they're highly favored, wealthy, royalty, confident. A child of a king is blessed. A child of a king means that there is favor, honor, stature. So these things I couldn't see in my life. I couldn't see these things in my life. Now, those of you that know me will know what my favorite book in the Bible is. Let's see who knows me. What is my favorite book in the Bible? Okay, and I've told you guys this many times. I don't know if you're new, you may not know this, but we're going to get deep and down and dirty into this, right? Yes, my favorite book in the Bible is Nehemiah, right? To the point where I've actually named my child Nehemiah based on that book. It is my favorite book of the Bible. And that book is what turned things around for me. That book is what allowed me to allow Anton into my life. A lot of people don't know this, but when myself and Anton were first introduced, I attempted to get rid of him because I didn't want to bring anyone close to me because I was scared that they're going to have the same power that my ex had. I was pushing him away. The mere thing that was going to help me to live in my purpose, the person that God had given me to pull out the best in me, I was pushing them away because it felt awkward. It felt uncomfortable, right? And Nehemiah, that book, if you have a chance to really study it, it's a book that I love to read, was a book about rebuilding the walls, right? Rebuilding the walls, okay? Now, here's the thing about Nehemiah. Here's the thing. Nehemiah was living in the palace with a king. He was living in luxury. He was living a life. He was living a very good life. But his heart was for the people. And so he knew that his mission was to rebuild the walls. Now, I'm not going to go into all the depths of it, but the walls represent a lot of things, okay? But most importantly, I want you to remember this, that the walls, most people think of the walls as to keep things out, but the wall also keeps things in, right? It also protects the things that's on the inside of it. Now, he knew That was his mission. And he decided that he was going to rebuild the walls. He decided, right? And then what he did, first of all, he prayed about it. Okay, when he heard God tell him, yes, that's what you need to do. He then went to the king, because in those days you had to get authority from the king, especially like when you're going through different landmarks. You had to go and get authority for the king, because otherwise, if you went through certain streets, imagine you're, you know, a ghetto boy going through the gully or ghetto boy going through Peckham. You needed to get the authority from the king and the backup and the provisions from the king. So he went to the king to get authority to say, yo, king, my calling is to rebuild the walls. I need your blessing. You know, it was unheard of. Like, you're living a royalty life and you want to go down in the trenches and you want to go and rebuild the walls. Now, why was this during this time a message that spoke to me? Because my comfort zone was to stay somewhere. And you know, a lot of people, they're not even comfortable where they are. Not like Nehemiah, who was living in a palace. A lot of people ain't even comfortable where they are, but don't want to move. Don't want to. And here's the word. He prayed about it, then he moved. He didn't pray about it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. He prayed about it, and then he moved. He went to the king and said, listen, king, this is what I believe my assignment is. Do I get your blessing? And the king turned around and the king said to him, mate, I can imagine the king like, yo, go for it, bro. Like, you want to leave the palace and go do that? Here's what I'm going to do for you. Because you're my humble servant, because you're my top G, you're my guy, right? And I'm ad-libbing, you guys know, right? Because you're my guy, not only am I going to let you go and rebuild those walls, but I'm going to give you provision. I'm going to give you a couple horse and them, man. I'm going to provide for you some soldiers that can roll with you. I'm going to, here's the word that I heard. He made the decision first, the provision came after. Some of you are waiting for the provision before the decision. You got to make the decision. When you make the decision to move, the provision will be provided for you. And so the king goes to him, okay, boom. Yes, here's some resources for you. And I'm gonna help you to go set yourself up so you can go and do the mission that you say is on your life. Boom, boom, boom. And off goes Nehemiah to rebuild the walls. Okay. He didn't sit and pray about it for 20, 30 years. He wasn't like a lot of people, what they do is they pray about something and they say, God will provide. They pray about something and they're like, okay, yeah, God's gonna. What do you think God will provide actually looks like? What do you think when you say God is gonna bless you? He's gonna bless you with a dream. He's gonna bless you with an opportunity. He's gonna bless you with a word. He's gonna bless you with something that you can hold on to, and then you go and move. But the issue is when God downloads in our spirit, we hear the word, but we don't act on the word. We hear the word and then we sit on it. And we say, okay, God, maybe I've got to wait for something else. Maybe I've got to wait for something. And we're sitting around waiting. Why does this word bother me today, guys? Why is it that my spirit is bothered? My spirit is bothered because we have some people inside of this group that know the word. We have some people inside of this place that have been anointed, gifted. We have some people inside of this place that if only they release what God has placed on the inside of them, the walls would have been built. But we're sitting down, we're praying on the prayer. We're praying on the prayer, on the prayer, on the prayer, on the prayer. God has already given you, he's already told you what to do. He already told you to go rebuild the wall. He already told you you need to move into this. He already gave you the instructions. But you don't want to follow it because it makes you uncomfortable. Can you imagine how uncomfortable it would have been for Nehemiah to go? Now, here's the thing. Now, what's the people that all came with him? The people that all came with him to rebuild the walls, were all of them about the same mission as him? Did they all have the same vision as him? Were they all in alignment with him? Because we had Sanballat, Geshem, and Tobias. Oh yeah, we done did this. Listen, you guys ain't even playing. One of them, their name actually means hater in secret. So hold up. Not only is he going out on a mission that is completely out of his comfort zone, that he had to trust The resources would be provided when he got there, right? Now he's even rolling with some people that are hating in secret, that are sabotaging. Can you imagine? Man's putting up a brick, and when he goes down to get another brick, someone's pulling a brick out. Now, I don't have time to go through the whole ins and outs right now, but I want you guys to Google how long was the wall that Nehemiah was building. We're not talking about from here to, just round the corner. We are talking about, mate, when I research it, we're looking at, like, man had to build a wall from like London past Birmingham, Manchester. Brick by brick. Some would laugh. Some would say it's impossible. Some would say that this is a mad mission. Some would say, yo, this man's foolish. This man is foolish. How is he going to leave the palace? Man's in the castle with a king, living life, probably drinking wine, eating grapes. Got the gal doing dancing, not really, right? But how is he going to live this life that he is enjoying to go on a mad mission, a mission impossible, to go and help some people because his heart's for the people. His heart was for the people. He decided to do what most people wouldn't do, and that's step out of their comfort zone for what is right, what needs to happen. Now, what is that? What are we talking about here, guys? How many of you on this call right now, put 777 in the chat box, have heard a word from God that he has directly instructed you, whether a dream, a vision, when you're writing, a word comes to your mind, he's directly instructed you on the calling of your life? Now put an 888 in the chat if you know you're not fulfilling it to the best of your ability, right? Because this is a real deal talk here, guys, because my spirit is troubled. My spirit is troubled right now. It's highly troubled. Because I'm not talking about you waiting for resources. I'm not talking about you waiting for anything. I'm talking about moving on the spirit. That he instructed you to do something. So let me carry on with what I was saying to you guys. So here I was reading Nehemiah, understanding that I didn't need to see the whole staircase. I didn't need to know how I was going to build the wall, but just one brick at a time. One brick at a time. And so here I was now, deciding that I'm going to start trusting. I'm going to allow, organic relationships to grow. And then I meet Anton. And then I'm back again like, oh, how many of you have been on a prayer call, been on a mindset call, and you're writing 777s in the chat and you're like, yeah, let's go. I'm going to do this. I'm ready. I'm pumped. And then when the physical opportunity comes for you to execute with what you said, you shake. Put a 777 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm reading Nehemiah. I'm going to church. I'm hearing the word. I'm pumped up. I'm like, amen, hallelujah, talking in tongues. I'm fired up. And then Anton comes in my life and I block and delete him. I'm like, no, get away from me, bro. Get away from me. No. And I see a number from a different number. It was Anton's mom's number calling me. I didn't recognize it. I'm like, hello. Anton's like, why have you blocked me and deleted me? The truth is I was scared. I didn't want to come out my comfort zone. I didn't want to be vulnerable to anyone to be able to hurt me the same way again. But I had to go back to the word. What does the word say? The word says I'm blessed and highly favored. I deserve to be loved, that I'm a queen, that I have favor, that I am royalty, that all of this stuff. But I'm blocking my own blessing because I don't want to take action into something that's going to make me uncomfortable. And so the minute I decided to open up, now, boom, you guys know the story. We ended up getting married after 7 months. Okay. Anton relocated from Jamaica. And, we began to live together. Now, here's the thing. The whole time I was in that relationship, 15 years, no opportunity came my way. Coincidence? I think not. The moment I begin to read the word and understand that opportunities will come my way when I am living in alignment with where the Lord wants me to be. I get married, and then within less than a month of Anton coming to the UK, we get presented with an opportunity that can help us become financially free. And here we are today. I quit my job. Anton said to me, Nikki, are you sure you're going to quit your job? I said, the Lord has told me to quit my job. I'm quitting my job. Why? Because I understand the work ethic that I'm going to put behind it. I don't quit. Listen, you can't quit your job, say the Lord has told you to quit your job, and then not go rebuild the walls. Can you imagine if Nehemiah left the palace where he was living comfortable and then started to rebuild the wall and then was just like, sure, I'm better today, yeah. When we get our hot beer. Anybody have a Heineken? Like you can't say you're hearing the word of God and not taking action. Like you must. The faith is a verb. It's a doing word. Faith without works is dead. So here I am now. I've taken action. I've married this man. He's here. We get an opportunity to change our life. I then hear the word say, listen, you're going to quit your job. I then quit my job and I say to the Lord, listen, I need a word. God says to me, okay, this is what you need to do. Study gold. Let me tell you this, guys. Pink money. How many of you have been on pink money? Put a 7 in the chat if you've been on pink money. Put an 8 in the chat if you've been on one of my goldathons. Okay? Put a 9 in the chat if you've been part of the 90-day challenge. Every single one of them strategies has come from the Lord. It's a word from God that I've taken action. So here I am now. I'm fired up. I hear the word of God. I'm like, God says to take this opportunity. I'm going to run with this opportunity. Now God's telling me, listen, I'm a chairwoman. I came in, I told everybody, call me Chair Lady Nikki. I was a Platinum 150, guys. I said, call me Chair Lady Nikki. And how was I Platinum 150? Because my mum, my husband, and my grandma were under me. That's it, right? So I'm a Platinum 150 telling people to call me Chairwoman. Because I already see that God showed me that I'm going to be chairwoman. The chairwoman is the goal for me. I hear it, I heard the word, and then I moved into it. I decided I'm going to have a home event. Now I have this home event. Everybody comes around to my house and I'm like, boom, this is the plan. This is the vision. This is what we're doing. How many of you have had a home event? How many of you have sat down in a living room with someone and said, listen, come on, guys, come around. We're going to have some chicken. We had it over the football. So I knew that I could promote it, football and Forex. And everybody came around to my house. We were watching the World Cup. And after the World Cup finished, I turned on my phone. I plugged in my laptop, plugged it into the TV. And I was like, right, guys, come on. Let's do this. We're going to make this money. This is what's going to happen. We didn't have Zoom calls back then. We didn't have many, other ways of doing it back then. It was face to face in the trenches. I didn't wait for someone to do a 9 o'clock call for me because I knew I was going to quit my job. I knew that God told me to quit my job, but it would be foolish. I had to use wisdom. It would be foolish to lose my income and not have something to replace it. So I had to grind. My desire was bigger than my excuses. So I hit Platinum 600 now, and I'm like, yo, this is good. This is sick. 600 a month. If I keep going like this, I can quit my job. This is 2 weeks. This is less than 2 weeks in, guys. And then I find out I'm pregnant. Anton, move quick, right? So I get pregnant now. And, when my pregnancies are tough, I have no what goes on. My pregnancies, hip pops out. Doctor says, unfortunately, Nikki, you are on bed rest. You cannot go to these events. You can't do anything. You have to stay on your bed. And here I am now like, Lord, you told me. God, you told me that I was going to be chairwoman. How are you going to put me on bed rest? I can't go out to the events. What's going on? You see, a lot of people now are doing Zoom. I was doing Zoom from back then because that's the only choice I had. I didn't wait for the person who brought me in to do anything. I was like, you know what? I'm creating a Zoom link. I'm going to share it out and I'm running some sessions. And I start running sessions. I invite people around to my house. I did a whole bugs on them. I was like, listen, I'll have you around my house at 7. I'll have you at 8. I'll have you at 9. I'll have you at 10. When the 7 o'clock people came, I said, listen, if you enroll now, what's going to happen is you're going to be above the people that come at 8 o'clock. And when the 8 o'clock people come, I'm going to place them under you. So you need to enroll now, because when you enroll now, the 8 o'clock people are going to be under you. I'm going to help you build your team. Then the 8 o'clock people come. I said, listen, we've got some people coming 9 o'clock. So you better pick up some of them crackers, eat while you enroll. Like, eat and enroll. That's what we're going to do. Enroll and eat. Here's some, sausage rolls. Here's some jerk chicken, yam, and enroll. Here's the thing. Let's enroll now. Enroll now. Bring your credit card. right? I don't know if Chicks is on this call. He will tell you, he was one of them people, one of the first individuals. I said, listen, enroll now. Then when the 10 o'clock people came, I was like, listen, I'm going to do this all again tomorrow. So you enroll now, I'm going to place more people under you. I was not waiting because my desire, God told me that I was going to build. He told me how to build the walls and he put the wisdom in me. And because he told me, my confidence came from him. I didn't even, hear the joke. You guys know I hit Platinum 1000. I had not even downloaded my MetaTrader 4. I didn't even know what trading was. I didn't even know how to get into the back office. But my desire was big. I knew the mission. I knew the calling. I was tired of being that girl that stayed in relationships because of a lack of finance. I was tired of being stretched at work. I hated being around people where I didn't fit in. I hated not being able to say God when I wanted to say God. I hated the fact that I had to beg people to watch my child. Anybody with children, do you know what it's like when you don't have childcare and you are sitting there begging someone to watch your child and they can't watch your child and you're there scraping like, who can watch my kid? Oh, I'm gonna miss out. I was tired of that, guys. When you're fed up and frustrated about your situation enough, you will make a way. You won't make an excuse. You will make a way. So what? You don't feel confident? Find the confidence. So what? You don't have the results. You're going to speak about somebody else who's got the results. You get yourself up and you make a decision to change your life because no one is going to do it for you. When God gives you the word, he also gives you the strength, the provision, the wisdom to go and get it. And some of us are sitting down praying, and he's talking to us and we're not listening. And my spirit is very, very uncomfortable, guys, because I want to see some fruit now. I want to see some fruit. I want to see the fruit of what it is that we need to do here. I need to see it because I tell you this right now, all that building, people were there praying for my downfall. Just like Nehemiah, you got the Sanballat, the Tobias, the Geshem, hating in secret, whispering, oh yeah, that business is not going to last. Oh no, that's not going to work. Oh yeah, that's a scam. Oh yeah, she don't know what she's doing. Oh this, that, and the other. No woman has ever done it before. 1 year, 10 months in. 1 year, 10 months. Chairman 10. First female, black chairwoman to hit that position in the entire company. Was it me? No, it was the word of God. It was the word of God. God gave me the word. He told me what to do. He laid out the fine print. He showed me exactly the blueprint. I didn't do it in my own strength. I didn't know anything. I've never been in a company like this before, guys. So here I am now, Platinum 1000. I'm showing you guys the blueprint. I'm showing you lot the blueprint. Platinum 1000, doing the same thing, watching people with events. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if Anton's on, but there was times, right? Because when Anton first came, obviously he didn't own the restaurant, right? He was working in Mayfair. He had these top jobs because he came from, Sandals, big chef, right? Head chef. And there was times when he was in the restaurant and I was sneaking out to events, right? I used to sneak. Why am I whispering? Because I used to sneak to these events and come back home before Anton would come from the restaurant like I never went to an event, right? There was one time, how many of you guys remember? Yellow dress, I'll never forget that yellow dress event. I had a pain in my stomach, guys. Here's what I was doing. Instead of waiting for opportunity call, I was speaking to people on the phone and they'll be like, oh, I see you're posting. What's this trading thing? I'm like, listen, I'll come around to your house and show you. I'll bring my laptop. It's easier if I show you. And I will go around to their house. I'll tell them, listen, bring some friends around. We'll make it like a little party or whatever. I'll go around to the house and I'll be presenting inside their houses. I tell them to bring their friends. I do a free trading session and I'd bring my laptop, go to their houses. At one point I had January through to June. If you guys remember, I was hopping from different people's houses, all booked up. And what I did is when I got to their house, I'd be like, listen, anybody that enrolls now, Angelina, you were with me on the road. We had a road trip, we had a tour. And I said, anybody who enrolls now, I will come to your house. But you need to pencil me in because my diary's full. So everywhere I went, I was getting more people's houses that I was going to. And I brought my little laptop. I took it as a business. I had my diary and I had everybody's names in and whose houses I was going to next. Then I did my first big event. P2000 straight. We had a line of people standing outside waiting to enroll. And then what I did is I did the home tour where I was going to everyone's houses. And it got to a point where my stomach, guys, I had the baby now and my stomach began to hurt. And I was on the road so much and there was this pain in my stomach. It was hurting. I just kept ignoring it. I'm like, listen, I ain't got time to think about this pain in my stomach. I just have to make sure that I get to the next event, All I can see is chairman. Everything else, I was just, I had family members saying I was a bad mum because I had different babysitters looking after my children. I had friends that were disowning me, saying all I cared about was this business. I had people, people at work pressuring me, going, at this point, I was called in sick. So here's what I did, guys. You gotta be smart about this. I had 6 months sick pay, and I exhausted my 6 months sick pay. Then I went on 9 months maternity pay, right? Half pay, quarter pay, whatever they do, because I needed to solidify that platinum 2000 before I lost the income. And so when they came to me and the boss was like, yo, Nikki, what's this thing we keep seeing? Nikki knows now, because I couldn't even start in my own name. I had to create a new name because I couldn't be Nikki Sutherland. One of my work colleagues even found me anyway, reported me and was like, oh yeah, she's not really sick. I said, I am sick. This is what I'm doing to release myself from the sickness of being at that bank. Being at that work is making me sick. Not having childcare is making me feel sick. And they were like, look, you're telling people not to put their money in the bank. That is a conflict of interest. You cannot be a member of our bank telling people not to put money in the bank. We're going to have to talk about this. Either you stop doing this business or you are going to lose your job, because we can't have both. And I said, listen, right now, let's go through the HR process, because I am not going to stop my business. This is ministry for me. This is not just about a business. This is ministry. And so, that my boss, we were going back and forward. And then boom, there was an opportunity for me to leave. I took it with both hands, but I'd already solidified that platinum 2000. So all this time I'm running around because my why is so big. My why is so big. I sat down and I worked out, okay, if I have somebody stay with the children for 3 hours in the evening while I do these home events, that's going to be, that's going to be £10 an hour. That's £30 a day. That's £300 a week. Okay, that's 3, 6, 9, 12. That's £1,200 a month. I need to create to be able to have the childcare that enables me to fulfill this business. So that now I was focused on getting my mum to P1000, because my mum's P1000 money would then go on to the childcare. This is where some of you are going wrong. You haven't assigned your residuals to something. If you make £50 a day, if you make 150 for a platinum 150, what does it do? Is that your phone bill? Platinum 600. What will 600 a month do for you? Is that a phone bill? Does that pay one of your student loans? Does that pay a loan that you have? Does that pay your mortgage? What does that 600 a month do for you? And so I realized 1,000 a month was going to help me to pay for the childcare that will enable me to go hard in this business. And so I got my mum to platinum 1,000. Right? So right at that point, I was platinum 2,000, Anton platinum 1,000, my mum platinum 1,000, my grandma platinum 1,000. I had created 5,000 a month residual just from simply being smart about this business. More than I'd made in my full-time job. I want you to understand this, guys, because when the why is big enough, you will find a way. You have to get mad at your goals. You've got to get angry at your goals. You've got to have the eye of a tiger. Now, all this running around, I started to feel this pain in my stomach. Every minute, a pain in my stomach. I said, I ain't got time for this. I got events. And one day, Anton had enough. He was like, listen, I am calling the ambulance. And he called the ambulance to come and get me. I was like, bro, this is just too much. Ambulance was like, no, we need to bring you to the hospital. This isn't right. This pain in your stomach. I'm like, yeah, whatever, And when I got to the hospital, I was like, listen, I just let you guys know, I have an event tomorrow. I'm going on stage tomorrow. So whatever needs to be done, it just needs to be done today because I have an event tomorrow. Now, I don't know, we got a lot of nurses in the team, some doctors as well. You guys know when you go under a serious operation, they were like, nah, there's something in your stomach. We got to cut that out now. They rushed me into theater. They cut out whatever it was that they cut out. My stomach was in pain, blood oozing, pus everywhere. And I was there. Kimali, I don't know if he's on the call. I called Kimali because I knew Anton would go crazy. I called Kimali. I was like, bring my laptop, bro. I have to do a mindset call tonight. Bring my laptop. So Kamali's like, yes, Nikki. God bless Kamali. He came to the hospital, brought my laptop. I don't think you guys are ready when you have the eye of the tiger, when you know what it is that God's called you to be. No obstacle, no pain, no nurse, no doctor, no illness, nothing can stop you from doing what it is that you know God has told you to do. Any obstacle is for you to adapt, overcome, because you will win. So he brings the laptop to me and I'm charting up in the hospital. We've even got pictures of me where I'm in the hospital with my charts. I've got it on my Instagram, right? Great leverage now, all right? But it was painful, guys. I come out of the anesthetic and the doctors are like, yeah, you need to stay in for a couple more days. I was like, days? I have an event tomorrow. I'm on stage tomorrow. We can't be here no couple more days. The hospital was like, we can't discharge you. It's not going to happen. And, you know, I have to repent now because me and my husband had a big argument about this. You know, Anton is that person that, you know, he's there to protect me. That's what he's there for. And Anton, by this point, Anton had bought a restaurant from profits. Okay, past profits don't guarantee future success, all of that. All right, so Anton had bought a restaurant, which meant that he was a very, very busy busy man. Sorry, I'm reading the chat box at the same time. He was a very busy man. And so I ended up calling another one of my friends and I was like, bro, meet me at the hospital. I need you to, because I couldn't drive. Meet me at the hospital, come pick me up, bring me to the event and bring me back to the hospital pronto, straight after. So he comes and he was like, nah, Nikki, I'm not picking you up. I said, look, if you don't pick me up, I'm going to get an Uber and it's going to be more dangerous. So just come pick me up. Like, I was forceful about this, yeah? I'm not telling everyone this is what you have to do, but I'm just telling you what I did because I saw what it was that I wanted and nothing was going to stop me. So in the end, I convinced him. He came and picked me up. I went, if you see on my Instagram, you see me on stage in that yellow dress, holding my belly, and I'm giving it. And the amount of people since then that have said, I remember that day changed my life. That day made me go harder in this business. That day told me that I could do it. And I went there and I delivered for 20 minutes. It was so painful, guys, but I pushed out. And you know me, when I talk, I bellow, and I didn't realize how much I use my stomach when I'm talking. And so I'm on stage and I'm giving it, guys. So many people enroll, boom, boom, boom. After that, I hit platinum 5,000, boom. It was nothing. It was, and I've gone back home and I'll collapse on the bed and go, and Anton come home. And Anton just like, I'm mad with you. Like, he was angry. He's like, you're putting your health at risk. I'm worried. I said, baby, and let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something. Those of you that are married doing this business, there is sometimes when God gives you the vision, not your spouse, and you have to follow that vision. I have to say, baby, I know you don't understand why. I know you don't get it right now, but trust me, this is going to free us. Trust me. I see the vision. God has made it very, very clear on what he has called me to do. And though it may seem tough, though you may not understand the decisions, I have to do this. I've got to do this. And Anton saw my conviction and he was like, okay, baby, I'm gonna support you. You know, I'm worried about you. You're not eating when you should. And at this point now, you know, we managed to get help in the restaurant and stuff like that. And then Anton started bringing me in food. There's times when I'm doing calls and I'm falling asleep. There's times when I'm in the, you know, the office and I'm falling asleep in the office. Anton's bringing food in between Zoom calls and I'm there showing the plan. At this point, guys, no mentor, no one helping me, no system, no welfare world, like no ambassadors, everything was like literally desire and hunger. This is the grind that I had to go through, guys, to get the result faster than most people. If you learn to compress time frames, I was showing the plan 5 to 6 times a day. Now, I understand some of you won't understand that type of work ethic. You will make an excuse why you can't. But I tell you this, just like Nehemiah, when God gives you a word, you will find a way to do the impossible. You have to decide decide whether you're being disobedient to the word. You have to decide whether or not you want it bad enough. If you have the eye of the tiger to really do what is needed to be done, act as you must, not as you feel. And so we push and we push and we push. 1 year, 10 months. And at this point now, guess what happens, guys? Success also brings attention. So I get Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, Luke Kwamina, David Imanitie, Austin Godsey, all now like, who's this girl? Where's she come from? No experience in the business. She's just come in and done what she... Listen, let me tell you this, for those of you that think this business is hard, it isn't. You've overcomplicated it. You have to find a way to show the plan to as many people as you can. That is the only thing that you should be doing. That's how simple this business is. Now, whether you show them the plan on a 9 p.m. call, which I believe is limiting you, or whether you go round to the person's house and have your laptop and physically show them, whether you are showing somebody in the supermarket. I was talking to people at KFC drive-thru. I'll be at the drive-thru after an event at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, rah, you're here at 2 o'clock. Do you like this job? You must love your job to be working here at 2 o'clock. They're like, please, I wish I had a way. Boom, boom, boom. Here what? Here's my Instagram. Let's connect. There are so many people that hate their jobs right now that would love another way to make another stream of income. And I found a way to connect with the people that needed it. I found a way. And then I started to sell my vision to people with leadership qualities who also had, the same vision in mind to empower, enrich, and educate 1 million customers, 1 million families. Now, here's where my spirit is a little bit uncomfortable right now, guys. Because the system is here to be duplicated. But what happens is we get comfortable inside the system. I'll give you an example. This is where the call's going to get quiet. I shout out to Kimberly today. Homegirl on Instagram Live. How many of you, see, Kimberly on Instagram Live more so than anybody else? Let's be honest. Give credit where credit is due. If you don't give credit, you're a hater and you're not really, honest about what it is that you're seeing, okay? Facts. I'll just be honest with that. No one is on Instagram Live more than Kimberly. But here's the thing. Kimberly is showing the plan to new customers every day. No one has got more personal enrollments than her either. So Kimberly is on Instagram showing the plan every day. Just all she's doing is logging into back office and showing the people exactly what the back office looks like. That's all she's doing. Now, here's what 95% of the world do. Now, you guys know it's rich dad, poor dad. Okay? This is where it gets painful, guys. Because 95% of the world are going to sit and watch Kimberly make money. So 95% of the world are jumping on Kimberly's Instagram Live and watching her talk to her guests, talk to her followers, and make money. 5% of the world are going to go Instagram Live themselves and duplicate what she's doing. So you can either sit and be a part of it, or you can make it happen for yourself. If Kimberly can go live, why can't you? Oh no, we're uncomfortable now. Nobody gonna say nothing now. Because this is where the truth hurts. Because we can't say we believe and then we're having doubts in the back of our mind. So you're going to sit and watch her make money, but you ain't going to go live yourself. You ain't going to duplicate the same thing that she's doing to get the results. You watch your chairwoman go every single day, 9 o'clock call, showing the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. You watch your chairwoman going on Instagram Live. You watch your leaders do what it is that you do, but instead of you duplicating them, you sit and watch them do it. I'm going to just pause there while we digest what's going on here, because this is not business as usual. I need you to have the eye of the tiger. I need you to see that God has called you for greatness. But when you say God is going to bless you, he's not going to throw £1 million in your trading account. He's not just going to go in your back office and all of a sudden you're chairman. That's not where the blessing comes from. The blessing comes from putting you in an environment around people that you can see and learn from. The blessing comes with giving you an opportunity. The blessing's going to come with showing you, giving you the right connections, giving you the right insight. The blessing's going to come by exposing you to what's available so you go and get it. When God gave Nehemiah the vision, he didn't tell him, I'm going to rebuild the wall for you. The wall's just going to be miraculously built. He said that you've been called to build the walls. But Nehemiah had to move. He had to go and begin the work. He had to do the work. So my spirit is bothered. My spirit is upset right now because I see that God has given some of us on this call messages, words. And we're playing around with a vision. We're playing around with a mission. We're comfortable in our comfort zones. But not after today that things are going to change. I need someone to type things are going to change. Only if you're feeling me. Don't type if you ain't feeling me, because I'm going to be real. I know that my calling for a very long time is to say the things that most people won't say. It's to say the things that most people find uncomfortable. It's to say the things that most people would rather not hear. But the truth is, you need money, sis. The truth is, brother, you need money. The truth is that you need a breakthrough. The truth is you enrolled into this academy to change your life. The truth is that there is something on the inside of you that needs to shift if you are going to get to the next level. And it is not sitting down watching other people make money. How many of you are seeing all the blues? And come on, guys. I saw something crazy today. You know, someone sent me a trade today that they made £26,000. And said, Nikki, I'm sorry, I know you're on, but I'm not going to hold back. Nikki, I don't want to share it. I don't want to share it because I don't want people to think I'm showing off. I mean, making calls today, guys. Those of you that don't know my operating rhythm, Sunday, Monday is where I do my calls, my catch-ups. I catch up with leaders. I catch up with, people that I'm working with personally. And I do my Sunday, Monday calls and I rotate. Had a Sunday, Monday call today. I said to a lady, okay, cool. What's the plan? What's your goal for the rest of this month? And the goal was, when this happens, then I'll decide my goal. That was the goal. And I'm going to say no names. And I said, why does your goal depend on an outside source, depend on an outside influence? And I challenge you guys today. It is the adulthood problem. When I make more money, then I'm going to do it. When I lose weight, then I'm going to do it. When my husband says it's okay, then I'm going to do it. When this happens, stop saying when this happens before you're going to do something. Okay, now you've said that to me. What I'm going to do is, when this happens, then I'll talk to you tomorrow to get a game plan. What game plan do you want? The same game plan is the same game plan. Make the calls, invite, show the plan. That's it, guys. There is no special game plan. There is no magic game plan. There is no magic one that's going to be, making you go chairman. There is no magic game plan. The game plan is expose as many people to your business as possible. If you want to open up a store, you want to have a hairdressing shop, how much money are you going to make if no one comes into your shop to do their hair? Someone just tell me this right now, because we seem uncomfortable when it comes to promoting our business. If you don't promote your business, if you have no customers, you make no money. That's what a business is. There's a transaction. It is an exchange, right? So you're a hairdresser with no customers. And you are praying every day. God told you to open the hairdressing shop, but you got no customers. So what are you going to do? Sit down and say, well, God's going to send the customers my way. We're going to do that? Are we going to actually say, no, Lord, what's the marketing strategy that I need to do, Lord? Lord, what's the actions that I need to take, Lord? Lord, what is it that I need to do every day, Lord? What are the things that I'm not doing? I need us to really sit down today and ask ourselves, because there has to be a shift, guys. Someone type shift in the chat. There must be a shift. There must be a shift. You have to really look yourself in the mirror. Stop blaming outside circumstances. Stop looking at all the things you're going through. We adapt, overcome, and win. That's our thing here. What do you have to do to shift the situation that you're in right now to get to the next level? So that £26,000 profit on a day is normal here in the wealthy world. So people can feel comfortable to post those things without feeling like they're showing off. What are the things that you have to do in order to change your situation? How many of you right now need something to shift in your life? Have a bigger goal that you need for? You see, the thing about God is this. He always gives us a vision that's bigger than our bank account. No matter how much money you have, he's always going to give you a vision that's bigger, because that means that you have to depend on him and have to trust in him. So do you really trust in him, or are you just saying the words? Do you really trust in him, or are you just saying what sounds good? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. When you ring someone, oh, how are you? Oh, yeah, I'm good. You know, the Lord is. This is why I have to pray before I do these calls, because I tell you, God is not pleased. God is not pleased that if he gives you a word, you know, the Bible talks about the guy that buried the talent. You guys know that scripture. I'm sure you know it all very well. If he gives you something, if he sows something into your life, if he shows you something, then it's disrespectful for us not to follow through. It's disrespectful for us to make excuses. No matter what's going on in your life, successful people make things happen. And especially if you say that you're with the Lord, especially if you say that you are a believer, we have an advantage, not a disadvantage. And it bothers my spirit when I see, this is why I can't go to church just to warm the benches. I don't sit and listen to the sermons to say hallelujah and then just walk out the door and carry on living the normal life. I hear the word to live the word. The word must show up in my life. The word must show up in my life. I came home from netball and I said to Anton, my spirit is bothered, Anton. What do? Am I being an enabler? Am I telling people the wrong message? I said, Anton, my spirit is bothered. Am I leading people the right way? Am I teaching them the wrong thing? Am I telling them that prosperity just comes by just saying I'm blessed and highly favored and God will just drop a bag of gold on the table? Like, Anton, my spirit is bothered. I don't know why I keep saying this, guy. My spirit is bothered. I could simply just not do these calls, guys, and live a good life. I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm not saying I'm loaded, but we're good over here. And I want you guys to feel this goodness. I want you to be able to make decisions. Guys, I'm flying out to Houston. Who's coming with me? I'm flying out to Barcelona. Have you guys got your tickets to Barcelona? Have you guys got your tickets to Palm Beach? Have you guys got your tickets to Houston? Like, mighty, my spirit is heavy right now. And I feel a bit like Nehemiah, where I feel like I need to rebuild the walls, because faith without works is dead. And I know we have some believers on this call and you have been praying for a long time. But my question to you is this. Are you following the word that God has given you? Are you taking action? Because if not, the word is falling on what? On what is it? Folly ground, mash up ground. The soil is not, the word is not being fertilized. Deaf ears. The word must show up in our life. I challenge you. I challenge you, guys. This is a warning. This is a message. God is not pleased. He wants you to trust him enough to put your best foot forward. Trust him enough to stop making excuses. Trust him enough to think like there's no box. Some people say think outside the box. When you think like you're outside the box, that means you already think that there's a box there, that you're caged in. Think like there's no box. We got to do different in this season. I'm prophesying right now that there's going to be some warriors that's going to step up, that's going to help rebuild these walls. I'm prophesying right now that there's going to be some action takers step up. I'm prophesying right now that there's some people on this call that have some talents, some gifts, that's going to start using them. That's going to start being consistent. That's going to start promoting their business. That's going to start being more confident. How do you get more confident, Nikki? Just show up, just do it. The first time I did a Zoom call, I cut everybody off, but guess what happened? They logged back on. What are you worried about? He doesn't give us a spirit of fear. So the worry is coming from the devil, because the devil knows the minute you stop worrying, you're going to cause damage. Maybe you got to revamp your Instagram. Maybe you got to start doing your lives. Maybe you just got to start telling your story. Storytellers make the most money. Maybe you need to read the book of Nehemiah. Pull out some things. Look at the principles of Nehemiah. When God gives you something, he'll give you the vision. You accept it, then he gives you provision. He'll give you the vision. You have to accept it, then he'll give you provision. Nehemiah had the vision. He went to the king. He accepted it, and the king gave him provision. And no Sanballat, Tobias, Geshem, no enemy in secret could stop him from rebuilding those walls. I want to encourage you today, guys, that you don't need, in order to fulfill the purpose, you don't need more money. You don't need more time. You just need what God has put inside you already. This is a new season. We ain't playing church no more, guys. We are blessed. We are highly, highly favored. And for that matter, that we should be walking boldly in this season with authority. One of the things that Nehemiah did is he built in one hand and protect in the other. And that's a whole different message. And that's for someone. None of the success I've had has been me. None. It's been hearing from the word and moving. Remember, 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke Anton up. I'm like, Anton, wake up quick. God told me we should do a 90-day challenge. Anton's like, all right, tell me in the morning. No, I need to tell you now. I remember one time I was doing Zooms and Anton said, God told him I need to do 4 Zooms a day. I'm like, hold up. He never told me that. He said, yes, you need to do 4 Zooms a day. So I went from doing 2 to 4. It's funny how the alignment thing starts to work when you're both in the zone. And now every night before we go to bed, we read the word. But we don't just read the word for reading the word's sake. We read the word and say, what's God telling us? What is the message that he's giving to us? And I challenge you to don't just read the word for reading the word's sake. Don't just be one of these serial note takers. Be an action taker in this season. There's too many people that are just preaching one thing and then living a different life. And we have to be set apart, guys. And so this message has come from the bottom of my heart. I'm praying. I pray that one person, even just one off this call, says, you know what? I've been playing around with the purpose God's given me. I'm going to start doing what's necessary. And so with that being said, guys, I've got the special announcement to do. I hope, call to action is very simple. I want you to just sit down and I want you to reflect on this message today and ask yourself, what is your true call? And what can you do with no extra time, no extra money, without having to say, when I learn this or when I do this? What can you do personally? The smallest thing that you can do. What's the real plan of action? I want to see what people are going to be doing in this season. I don't want to hear what they're going to be saying or what they're talking about. What are you going to do in this season? Because we have damage to do, guys. We need to get out there and free some souls. But until we are free ourselves, we can't free the masses. So my call to action today is, what are you going to do? So your action is going to be, I will. What are you going to do? And remember, a go ain't a go without a what, how much, by when. So I will do such and such every day by this time. This is what I'm going to do. Don't say I'm going to stop procrastinating. I'm going to stop doing this. No, what are you going to do? What does it look like? What does it sound like every day, every week? What are you going to do? And sitting on Zoom calls all day ain't going to make it. What are you going to do? Because if you're not happy with where you are, you must make a decision today to do something. Don't repeat 2021 in 2022. Don't repeat 2020 in 2022. Don't sit and watch this happening for so many other people and not have it transpire in your life. That's your call to action. What are you going to do? All right. So as I stop this recording,